That's the legendary Tooth and Nail riff played by Dokken, written by George Lynch, one of the most killer riffs of the entire 80s metal era. Today I'll break it down step by step so you can play it yourself and capture that classic Lynch vibe. Okay, if you're looking for the tab for this lesson, check down in the description box and you'll see my Patreon link. There you can get the tab and guitar profiles for this lesson and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. Also, I've got a free gift for you. It's called 5 Must Know 80s Metal Riffs. It's great stuff, essential stuff if you're into 80s metal. That's my free gift. Also down there in the description box. Alright, so let's take a look at this iconic Lynch riff. Now, first thing you need to know is we're tuned down a half step. So this is my low E string. The entire guitar tuned down a whole step, so you're in E flat standard. That's the tuning for this Dokken riff. Actually, the whole Tooth and Nail album is down a half step, but it's slightly off of that. If you're wondering why you tuned to E flat and you're still out of tune with the album, it has to do with the tape speed. Back then they used to record to tape and it would vary somewhat sometimes, so that's why it's a little off, and you would need to actually tune your guitar to the album so you're perfectly in tune, or you could use some sort of an app to adjust the pitch so that it matches your guitar. Let's break it down. I'll show you the riff slowly, piece by piece, so you can get the feel of George Lynch's rhythm and really lock it in. Now, what we're doing here is we're starting with a what's called a chromatic riff, and that just means you're playing notes outside of the scale. Right now we're in the key of E minor, and so the riff would theoretically be in E minor, but it's not. It starts on the first fret on the G string, so that's all it means. It's just a cool way to blast off this riff with high energy. So what we're doing is, let me just play it slow and then we'll break this down. That's all it is. It sounds crazy at the beginning, but it's just this little chromatic thing right here. I've seen this tabbed out in crazy ways. This is how George Lynch plays it. Okay, so we're going to play the first fret on the G and pull that off to the open string. Now, go to your D string and play 3, 2, 1 open. You want to pick all that. Okay, so then play 3, 2, 1 open on the A string. So now we have, and then on the last bit of this chromatic will be 4, 3, 2, 1 on the open string. Okay, and there's your riff. Now that will kick in to the main riff, so to speak. So that part. So we're coming right out of this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play the open E string twice and mute it the second time. And then we're going to play 7 on the A string. Back to the low E, and then 5 on the D with a slight little bend there. And then 7 on the A, open E, and 7 on the A again. Sounds like a lot going on there, but really it's just again, if you're having trouble following along with this, make sure you grab the tab over at Patreon. Okay, so then what we do is we play, that's A, D, A, D, G. Okay, so it's A power chord, D power chord, A power chord, D power chord. Open position here, so we're playing that open A string and then the 2nd fret D. And then on the D, I'm just playing the open D and the 2nd fret G, and then you can add the 3rd fret on the B if you want. I usually do. And then a G chord, you can play it like this or with your thumb. But the notes are the 3rd fret on the low E, mute the A string, then play the D, the open D, G, and the 3rd fret on the B string. Okay, so we have. Then we do this, that riff again. Now we're going to play the same riff, and then we're going to go right to a D chord, and then add your pinky on the 4th fret on the A string. So it's going to from a D to like a C sharp there. I like kind of playing it this way, but I noticed George does it. It really sounds the same. Okay, so let's go with that. All right, so here's what we have. Okay, and then this again. Then this. That one more time. And then the riff. And then you're into the verse. So that's really the intro to this. It's cracking, man. It is ripping. One of my favorite intros ever. It's so heavy. Let me just play through it slow for you. All of that, so you can get the whole picture of what's going on here. Here we go. And then you're into the verse. Okay, maybe we'll cover the rest of this another time, but that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed this killer riff. I would recommend playing this if you're having trouble with the speed. Just take it like at half speed and just work on it over and over. Okay, it's no reason why you have to play things up to speed to get any benefit from it. So that's why we practice, right? So make sure you dig into it, get all the notes right, make sure everything's clear, and then start bumping up the speed on this so you can play along with the original. Okay, once again, if you want the tab for this, head on over to Patreon, down there in the link below. Also, don't forget to grab my free gift, 5 must-know 80s metal riffs. And if you're interested in this kind of riffing, check out my brand new course, 80s Metal Guitar 101, also down there in the link below. Just launched this week. Lots of wonderful 80s metalheads have already checked it out and have been saying great things about it. So there you go. Hope to see you again soon. Rock on.